The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Onyx Fantasy. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at Onyx Fantasy with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Friday afternoon, June 20th, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Rich up to Scott Rochelle, joined by Lonte Smith, and together we're going to break down the games for the Saturday card. Lonte, just finished NBA, time for some baseball. How's it going with you? How's your baseball life been for the last few days?
Not too good, man. Hasn't been good for me. I feel like the Yankees right now, but got Luke Weaver back.
You won yesterday. That counts.
Seven runs. Going into the weekend, we're feeling good, man. We're feeling good.
Yeah, there's one game going on today, which is close to going final, as the Mariners are up 6-4. What a terrible job by Counsell with the bullpen in that game. First of all, they pulled Boyd at 76 pitches. Why? I don't know. They brought in Presley, who was terrible. Then Thielbar, who was terrible too. And they blew the game. They keep pitching to Raleigh, who homers every time he bats, apparently. And the Cubs are now down 6-4. So we'll see if they lose or they come back. But point is, not a great job by Counsell. And it's been an entertaining game of baseball, but not a great job by Counsell with the bullpen. Pulling Boyd at 76 pitches is kind of crazy. But either way, definitely a weird job by him in that game. But time to move on into the actual games for the Saturday card. Before we get to that, the reminder that you could also check out the College Experience because they are starting their college football previews for the season as they're doing team previews with Kobe and with Moneyline Mac, previewing every FBS college football team. That's a lot of teams. Don't miss out. Check out the College Experience for team previews on every single FBS team. Anyway, moving on to the actual card for the Saturday game. Starting off with the first game on the card, you have the Tigers against the Rays. For this one, you have Gibson Long against Pepiot. Rays are minus 125. Tigers are plus 105. Over-under in this game is set at about 9. I see a plus 110 out there for Detroit. I'm going to take it. I understand Tampa's been a very solid team for the last month. Not a good series against Baltimore at all. In fact, they arguably should have gotten swept. They came back from 8-0 down. Mm-hmm. That was it. They were really bad in every other game. So I'm not a fan of how they're playing right now. Detroit's still a solid team. 20 games over 500, 6 over on the road. Pepiot's been fine, don't get me wrong, but I do think you're looking at what should be a close game. I think it might be a bit low scoring, so I don't mind the under in this one. But the wind is blowing out. That's why the total does look pretty high. Actually, no, it's not. Wind's blowing slightly in. I don't mind the under in this game. I think 9's a bit high. But I'll go with Detroit at plus money. I think plus 110 is a pretty good deal with the better team.
Yeah, so I'm going to go opposite way. I like Tampa. I've liked Tampa for this whole month. They've been pretty good, 6-4 last 10. You talked about the crazy comeback. The offense was a bit up and down in that Baltimore series, but they're still hitting almost 300 in the last 10 on 10 hits, 6 runs per 9. So I kind of like the over as well. Detroit's lost 3 of 5. Bullpen has been really bad, ERA over 5 in the last 10, but they're hitting the ball well. I prefer Pepiot over Gibson Long. I mean, Pepiot's had 11 straight starts, not allowing over 3 earned. He's got 28 Ks in his last 3. Does have a home run issue, 4 home runs in his last 3, but he's been really good at not allowing. When he does allow contact, it unfortunately is a home run, but he's at under 5 hits in 4 of his last 5. So I'm going to trust Tampa at home, better pitcher, not the better team, but in better form, I would say right now. So I'll take Tampa short price at home.
Yeah, I feel like once again, just based on current form, Detroit, I think, should be closer to a pick 'em in this game. So I'd rather go for Detroit. Tampa, yes, they've been great at home recently. They've been good overall, but not a great series against Baltimore. And that is giving me a bit of pause for them laying this number against Detroit. So I'm going to go for Detroit for the value in that one. Moving on to the Orioles against the Yankees. For this one, you have Eflin against Schmidt. Yankees minus 175. Baltimore's plus 145. The over-under in this game is set at 9.5. Wind for this game is blowing out at roughly 7 miles per hour. So should be a bit beneficial, but the Yankees can't in anyway, so it might not matter. They had one good game because Anderson stinks, and the Yankees torched him. But I like the under in this game. I'm not going to really overthink this. I think the Yankees are an offense that is very home run dependent. They do a really bad job when it comes to doing the small things, and that's why they're really bad in extra innings because they can't actually manufacture small ball. Baltimore's offense has been good lately.
Yeah.
I think Schmidt can go okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of Schmidt. I'm not a big F1 guy either, but I do think this total feels kind of high. for a Yankees offense that has been really bad for the last week and change. Baltimore's been fine, but I do think the Yankees pitching staff can do a decent job of not letting Baltimore go crazy here. Give me a 5-3 type game. I like the under. I think 9.5 is too high.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I really can. Smith's actually coming in on 13 2/3 scoreless. 9 straight starts, allowing 3 earned runs or less. Eflin on the other side is coming in off his worst start of the year, but he's been better than what his numbers indicate. Just 2 really bad starts kind of uplifted those numbers. He has struggled on the road in his last 3 with 14 earned, but I think he can. I think the pitching is somewhat of a wash. Baltimore did take 2 of 3 in April. They're 6-4 in the last 10. Along with Tampa, they're playing really well this month. That's why I kind of valued Tampa in that first game, because I thought Baltimore had been playing really well also. So I like the under with you. I would take a shot on Baltimore just price-wise. I just don't think the Yankees are warranted with this type of price with Smith on the mound. I can see it with, some of the big dogs, but not with Smith. So I'm going Baltimore and under.
Yeah, I think for value alone, it's Baltimore or pass. I can't lay this with the Yankees based on current form. Moving on to the next game, you have the Brewers against the Twins. You have Quintana against Wood Richardson. The Twins are minus 145. The Brewers are plus 120. For the over-under, I see 9 or 9.5. Now, Quintana's been fine this season, a 4-2, 3.35 ERA. As for Wood Richardson, not so much, as he's been quite underwhelming. But he was good last start against Houston. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs. At home, though, it has not been pretty for Woods Richardson either. 4.58 ERA. I think this price is too big on Minnesota. Quintana, I think, is better. Yes, it's not pretty. There's a lot of guys on base, but he finds ways to get by. I don't maybe mind the first 5 over if you want to go for a lot of runners in scoring position, a lot of opportunities for multiple run home runs. But I think the price is massive for a guy that has really not been good on the mound this season. So I'll go with Quintana in Milwaukee, maybe a first 5 money line. But I think the price feels off at 145. I'll go Milwaukee.
Yeah, I came into this series wanting to bet Minnesota, to be quite honest with you. But price-wise, I just can't get with it. They did take 2 of 3 in May at Milwaukee, but they haven't just been playing well at all. 3-7 in the last 10. In those 10 games, the pitching's been horrible. I mean, overall ERA above 6 in those last 10 games. Now, Woods Richardson is coming off 5 scoreless at Houston, and Houston's playing some really good baseball right now.
They lost the game anyway, to be fair, but yeah.
Yeah, but he pitched well, though. But again, Milwaukee's kind of in better form. I mean, obviously, they're 500 in the last 10. They're hitting 270 also on 9 hits, so they're hitting the ball really well. Quintana's serviceable. Since returning from injury, he's had some control issues, 3+ walks in his last 3, but he's not allowed more than 2 earned in a road start. So I'm going to take the plus money with Milwaukee. Their offense is really good on the road as well. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to take Minnesota until that price came out. So I'm going to take the dog here.
Yeah, I just don't see much value on going for Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Moving on to the next game, Reds against the Cardinals. Now, for this game, you have Miley, who is against Gray. Gray is minus 185. You have Miley at plus 155, and the over-under in this game is set at about 9 flat. Now, Miley was signed off the street mid-season, and he has not been particularly good. I am going to point out that actually, is he on the IL now? Let me actually check this for a second. Let me see if he's listed for this one. Yeah, he's on the IL. So ESPN's player page has IL listed, but they have him as the listed pitcher. Get it together, ESPN. You got to figure it out. So I don't know who's pitching for the Reds in this game, but it's probably not a great option. Gray's been good, and the Cardinals are a very good home team. I'll go Cardinals minus 1.5, but yeah, I don't really have much else.
I like over. I don't really trust either team on the side. I mean, they split a 4-game set in late April. The losing team in all 4 of those games did not score over 1 run. But Cincinnati's offense has been playing really well. 5+ runs scored in 6 of the last 10. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Hitting the ball really well, almost 280, 5.6 runs per 9 in that span. St. Louis has been really bad. I mean, they were 1-7 in their last 8 prior to sweeping the White Sox. The starting pitching ERAs over 5 in the last 10. Gray is coming off extended rest, so I do think it's a good spot for him. He allowed 6 earned on 8 hits in his last start, but prior to that, he allowed 0 in 3 of his last 4 home starts. So he's been good at home. I think offensively, both teams will be able to score, especially with how Cincinnati's going offensively right now. So I like over. I think the Cardinals are a perfect parlay piece if you want to link them in with another favorite around this margin. But I do like the over in the game.
By the way, I see some reports that Chase Petty is supposed to be the pitcher for the Reds in this one. ERA of 21.94.
Over.
So, over. There you go. Once again, I see Maycall mentioning that Miley's listed everywhere. It might have been a couple minutes ago. I don't know when, but Miley was put on the IL. So I have that listed officially. So they're going to be using somebody else for that one. Moving on to the next game. You have the Mariners against the Cubs. Mariners homered again in the ninth inning. So they're going to win this game today. What a horrible job by Counsell. For the game, though, you have Hancock against Horton. Cubs minus 175. Mariners are plus 145. The over-under is a casual 12 in this game. So you got to mention the wind. 91 degrees and about 17 miles per hour blowing out to right center. In other words, it's going to be a lot of home run balls for this one. So if you like Raleigh home run, might be like plus 220. Keep that in mind. But I'll ask you for this game, Horton's been fine this season. Hancock has been kind of up and down. It's tough to go against an over in Wrigley with the wind blowing out. And you might get a bunch of runs in one inning to send this over. I like the over, but I don't know what else there's to talk about.
Yeah, tough one for me. I was going to go with Chicago. They have been, outside of today, they were 4-2 in their homestand. Both of those losses were by one run, so they were right there, 500 in the last 10. The bullpen has been electric outside of today. They were a 1.70 ERA in the last 10. They hit the ball well at home. Horton is coming off 5 2/3 scoreless. He's been steady. Nothing to he hasn't been good, hasn't been bad, just right in the middle. Hancock, 2 or less in 4 straight starts. Under 3 hits allowed in 3 of his last 4. That's really, really good. He's not allowed over 3 runs in 6 road starts. So I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to take an under. I'm not going to lie to you until I got the wind. You just gave out the wind report. But, man, both of these pitchers have been okay.
Yeah. I would consider maybe a Seattle first 5 under because Horton's actually done a good job of not allowing home runs. Hancock does give up home runs, which can be a problem. He's given up 10 this season. Horton has allowed 4 in 36 1/3. So not amazing, but he's allowed no home runs in 3 straight. So if you want to make an argument that one pitcher out of these 2 can keep the ball in the ballpark, it would be Horton in theory.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna Chicago, another parlay piece, and I think is a good one to link up.
Yeah, I think Carl Armstrong probably goes yard in this game. The usual suspects go from there.
I like that too.
So I'm sure the price will be disgusting, but it should be a pretty entertaining game either way. Moving on to the White Sox against the Blue Jays. Now for this game, for the matchup, you have Taylor, who has no picture, according to ESPN, against Turnbull. You have Toronto at minus 205. Or no, sorry, that's the game tonight. My bad. Whoops. So getting into the Saturday game, you have Savale against Berrios. Toronto's minus 215. You have the White Sox at plus 180. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at 8.5. For the run line for Toronto, I see Toronto minus 1.5 at even money. White Sox plus 1.5 at minus 120. So Berrios has been better than Savale. Looking at Berrios' performances, though, he has been kind of good, but then he had a bad outing on the road against Philly last time out. He's been technically worse at home this season, but not by a lot. Savale, though, was on Milwaukee. Then he demanded a trade. Ended up here, been really bad on the road. Since getting acquired, though, by the White Sox, he was fine. 5 innings, 2 runs, and they lost 2-1. So I'll ask you for this game. Decent price on Toronto. They're a very good home team. White Sox, we know, can't hit to save their lives. And Savale, I think, is worse than Berrios in the start. Is it Toronto minus 1.5, or do you have another angle?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Toronto's had extreme success. Like a lot of teams. So they've won 9 of 10 versus the White Sox. White Sox have lost 8 straight. Half of those have been about 2+ runs. Savale doesn't have a good length. He's not going to 5 innings in any start this year. So you're going to get to that bullpen, which Toronto, I think, can expose. And they've cooled off a bit after a hot start to June. They're 500 in the last 10, 2-4 in the last 6. But again, this is a perfect get-right spot for Toronto and that offense. I think the offense comes to play. So I would look at that minus 1.5 and a Toronto team total.
Yeah, I can get behind that team total as well. Moving on to the next matchup here. You have the Rangers against the Pirates. Now for this game, you have the matchup between Rocker and Keller. Keller, I feel bad for. His ERA is 4.08, and he's 1-9 That's not fun. Rocker's 2-4 with a 7.31 ERA. Minus 110 on both sides. The over-under in this game is at 8.5. And for Rocker, been really bad this season, obviously, but he did make his first start in about a week and a half, and he was very good against the White Sox as he went 5 innings, giving up no runs. So both teams can hit at all. They're really bad offensively. I think I will go with the under at 8.5. It just feels like a number that's too high with these two teams being involved. I get Rocker's been bad. Keller's been fun. He gets no run support at all. So I think it's a pretty low-scoring game. Give me the under.
Yeah, I love the under in this spot, man. I've been betting unders on Pittsburgh and Texas pretty much all month. 3 runs or less in 4 straight for Texas. They were 6-1 prior to being swept by Kansas City, which was a really bad sighting. The starting pitching has been, like kind of elite early on, but as of late, in the last 10, they got an ERA above 5. The bullpen has been saving them in their last 10. Their ERA is under 2. They have been hitting the ball pretty well, 274 last 10, but again, do I trust that to travel on the road? I do not. Pittsburgh, they're hitting under 220 in their last 10. They're actually hitting 210 at home, which is pretty disgusting. They were 2-5 the last 2 series on the road. Keller, just like you said, I just continue to feel bad for him. He's leading the majors in quality start, or tied for first in quality starts, but he just can't get a win. But I think that ends here. I think he'll be 2-9 after tomorrow. So I like Pittsburgh to get it done at home behind a good performance with Keller, and hopefully they can get him at least 3 wins.
Yeah, I see this game finishing like 4-2. I think it's going to be a disgusting game of baseball, so I like the under for that one. Before we get into the remainder of the card for Saturday, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Circa, because they're still hosting their Ultimate Invincible giveaway. And a reminder, if you want to join 12-person league to drive in Vegas, be true VIPs for your stay. Also get a limo ride from the airport, a 5K tab, a stadium swim, and also stay for you and your 11 league mates. Always get 15% off everything at Circa Properties with the code SGPN15. Enter the contest though for free at sportsgamble.com/circa. That's sportsgamble.com/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because they're available in a ton of locations. Use crypto to get all defense penalty deposits. When you sign up, though, for your account, use the code SGPN. You could also bet on every sport. They have the NBA Finals, they have baseball, they have golf, they have MLB. Whatever you can think of, MyBookie does have. But when you sign up for an account, use code SGPN. They get a 1% deposit match up to $1K. Terms and conditions MyBookie, the G promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finish going through the first couple games on the card for Saturday, kind of to keep it rolling. Move on to the next game, matchup between the Red Sox and the Giants. For this game, you have Bayo against Raup. For the money line here, you have Boston at around, pulling it up right now. Boston's plus 118. You have the Giants at minus 135. For the over-under, I see the line being set at 8 or 7.5. Now, the Red Sox traded away Devers. It is the Devers Revenge Series. They've been very good at home, as they are 23-13. Red Sox are 3 under on the road. They can hit. They demoted Campbell because he stinks, so they're going through some changes in the lineup. But I think Bayo has been better than Raup lately. Bayo's been good for the last month. Killed the Yankees over the weekend. I'll ask you for this one because I think for the value, I'll go Boston. But I don't trust their offense right now, so I might go back to the under.
Yeah, I like Boston. They have been really good on the road. They've won 3 straight road series. They're 6-3 in that span. They're pretty hot right now despite the offensive struggles. 8-2 last 10. Bayo, 3 straight quality starts. Pretty steady outside of 1 bad start. Only 3 road starts on the year. He was solid in those. No more than 3 earned allowed. I hate to go against a North Carolina brethren Raup, but been inefficient in his last outing. 45 pitches to get 5 outs, which is really bad. He has allowed 1 or less in 4 of his last 6 starts. 9 combined in his last 2. So, I'll say this: 9 combined in his last 2 starts. Prior to that, 1 earned run or less in 4 of the previous 6. He is much better at home, but do I trust San Francisco against a good Boston team?
Well, how good are they?
Offense is struggling. I think they've been good lately. They just offense.
That's why I'm asking. I don't actually know how good they are.
Yeah, they've been good on the road. 6-3 in the last 3 road series, so they're pretty good. And that's with their offense being bad. So if they can pick it up a little bit, they'll be pretty amped up for the Devers thing. So I'm gonna go with Boston here.
Yeah, I do want to ask you, who's more amped up for this series, the Red Sox players or Devers?
Oh, Devers. Yeah, Devers is.
Just asking. I like the no home run prop again. I gave it out on Logan Webb last time out, and that cashed easily. That was my home run play, and it got there. People had like plus 225, and that got there. Both pitchers really good at not allowing home runs. So I see a pretty low-scoring game here. Give me the under and give me the no home run in this game as well. Moving on to the next game, a match between the Braves and the Marlins. For this one, Braves, nice series against the Mets. Well done, they swept. You have the Braves on the road, though, who stink, 12-24. Marlins, though, were 15-23 at home. You have Holmes against Perez. Perez has been quite bad since coming off the IL. He had Tommy John, missed about a year, came back, not been very good. Holmes, though, has been fine. 3-6, but he has a 3.97 ERA. Really bad on the road, a 5.46 ERA. He has recorded at least 9 strikeouts in 3 of his last 4 starts. Problem is the Braves are 0-4 in those starts. Last start, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 15 strikeouts, and they lost to the Rockies by 9 runs. So, kind of a weird stat line there. I'll ask you for this game because the Braves are massive favorites at about minus 160. Marlins plus 135. Over-under in this game is set at about 8.5. The Braves are starting to play better, but I've seen this movie before. They've won 6 of 7. They've covered the run line in every win except for 1. Perez has been really bad. I think I'll go Braves minus 1.5, but I'm not going to bet this.
So I'll take the team total over because of everything you just said. They've scored 5+ runs in 5 of their last 7. Now, a lot of that damage has been at home. But again, I think they've played them in a 2-game set in April. Each losing team was held scoreless. I do think Atlanta's a lot better now. Miami's spicy, though. They really are. I have under with a question mark in my notes. 9 of the last 10 meetings did go under. I just don't trust Miami to be consistent offensively. So what'll probably happen is they'll score – 0 runs today, and then they'll score 6 tomorrow, and then they'll kill me. But I had under circled, probably more favorable to the Braves team total over. I know that's kind of counterintuitive, but I'll take the Braves team total over. I wouldn't mind minus 1.5, but I'm just not going to bet it.
Yeah, it's a game I'm not really interested in. I go out of my way to avoid Braves games because why would I want to bother betting on this team? I can't stand this damn team. So, yeah, I'll go with the Braves minus 1.5, but I'm not going to bet this game. I got, in my opinion, better games to bet on. Moving on to the Mets against the Phillies in what's kind of an important series for the Mets because they've been really bad lately. They've lost 6 in a row. You're looking at them trying to get back on track after an ugly series against Atlanta over the last few days. As for Philly, they've been how would you describe Philly? Because right now they're tied for first place. And I feel like most people didn't realize they were tied for first place.
Because they're not playing.
That's the point, though. They've not been playing great competition, but they did win 3 out of 4 at Miami, which you have to do. Pitch very well in that series.
Yeah,
for the matchup, you have Abel going for Philly, who's been quite good this season. A 2.21 ERA against Canning, 3.8 ERA. The money line is minus 120 for Philly, even money for the Mets, and the over-under is at 9.5. So for this game, Mets are kind of in free fall right now. Abel has been solid. You could argue the advanced metrics are not very good for him, but he keeps surviving. And Canning's a guy who I've been pleasantly surprised by, but I'm still waiting for it to hit the fan for him this year. And we might be approaching that point, so we'll see. But the Mets are really good in Citi Field. They're bad everywhere else. They're 18-20 on the road. I'm going to back Philly here. Canning's has given up 10 earned in his last 2 starts. Not a fan of the form here. Give me Philly at home. I think it's a good price.
Yes, I'm going to buy low on the Mets. I think their recent success against Philly is going to be the icebreaker here. The Philly is 8-2 the last 10. I think Abel has been really impressive, but like you talked about, I think he's due for a little bit of regression. The Mets, 5 straight wins versus Philly, 3 this year, outscored them 14-8 in that series. Their offense has been kind of the catalyst of why they haven't been winning. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but 3 runs or less in 4 straight. But if you look at Canning, you talked about his numbers in his last 2. He was really good prior to that. I mean, 10 combined runs in his previous 7 before that. 1 earned in 5 innings pitched versus Philly in April. He's been elite on the road. I think it's a buy low spot for the Mets. I'll take them on the road here.
Once again, I'll wait for the Mets to get out of their own ways right now, but I think the price feels off to me based on the current form that Canning's in and that the Mets are in. So I'll go with the Phillies in this one. Moving on to the Royals game against the Padres. For this one, you have Cameron against Cease. Cease and the Padres minus 160. You have the Royals at plus 135. I don't know if Suarez is getting suspended or not for chucking that ball at Ohtani last night. He might get suspended, which would be a big deal because he's one of their main relievers. So we'll see what happens there. I know he got ejected in the game yesterday. I want to actually see if Robert Suarez got suspended or not, because that would be a big blow to the bullpen. Yeah, I didn't see anything on that. I don't know if you think he gets suspended or not. Do you think so, or do you think the ejection's fine? Because it was a 3-0 pitch and he launched it at Ohtani.
Yeah,
I'm wondering, since it is Ohtani, if there will be some form of retribution.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind, though. Suarez maybe is not active for this game, but either way, Cameron's been good. Cease, I think, is not very good, and he's been really bad this year. 4.69 ERA. He has given up 3+ in 4 of the last 5. He had a great start against the Dodgers, then got shelled by the Dodgers about 6 days later. I'll ask you for this one because the Royals can't really hit, but I'm really not a Cease guy. I think I'm on the Kansas City angle here, but I don't feel good about it. Maybe Royals first 5 over. I'll fade Cease, I'll ignore Cameron, I'll move on.
What was the price on this
So the
again?
Padres are minus 160. The Royals are plus 135. The over-under is at 7.5.
Yeah, good. I think it's a good parlay piece. Like, I know Kansas City, they had a good sweep versus Texas after losing 6 straight, and Cameron's been good, really good on the road, 1 combined run and 3 road starts. But again, I think the record of San Diego is kind of getting – so basically they're 3-7 in the last 10. 5 of their 10 losses were to the Dodgers, and I think that kind of can be discounted. The bullpen has not been good, ERA above 5. They're still hitting the ball well. Cease has been fairly consistent at home. It's got good swing and miss stuff. Kansas City offense, I don't really trust. I'm looking at it under, and I'm looking at San Diego, but I think San Diego is a good parlay piece with St. Louis. If you want to throw them in there, maybe in Atlanta as well.
But I think I'd rather just try to fade Cease early. I don't mind going with Royals' first 5 team total. Should be 1.5. Which I can live with Cease on the mound here. Moving on to the Diamondbacks against the Rockies. So for this one, you have Arizona as a favorite at minus 190. Rockies are plus 160. You have Kelly against Palmquist. So for the over-under in this game, I see 12 in this one. Palmquist, not any good. 0-4, 7.76 ERA, been worse at home. 8.64 ERA in Coors. He hands out 4 runs to everybody, and he walks a bunch of guys. He gives up home runs. He's really bad. Kelly, though, has been very good. 6-3, 3.41 ERA. Not great last start against San Diego, but the point is on the road, he has been pretty good recently. His ERA on the road has been slightly worse this season, but not too much worse. And against the Rockies this season, 7 innings, 1 run, 11 strikeouts. Now, that was at home. This is in Coors. But Kelly, of course, is much better than Palmquist here. I'll go Arizona minus 1.5. I think the Rockies, we know, stink. They had a decent stretch for about 4 games. It was fun while it lasted. Give me Arizona minus 1.5, like minus 138.
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of think the 190 is a bit short, I agree. To be honest. Kelly's been really good on the road. He threw 7 scoreless versus Colorado in mid-May. I mean, it's not like they've done a ton in between. And Palmquist has allowed 5 and 4 innings pitched in that same series versus Arizona. Kelly's got 7+ Ks in 3 straight, so maybe you want to look at a K prop. He's been really good on the road, 2 or less in 5 of his last 6 on the road. I mean, I think the 190 is short, to be quite honest with you, but I'll take the minus 1.5.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Thought it would be closer to like minus 230, 240. So
yeah, 225.
That's kind of where I was at. So I agree. I think it actually is pretty cheap. Moving on to the Astros against the Angels. For this game, you have Walter against Soriano. Astros minus 125, Angels plus 105. The over-under in this game is set at about 8.5. Angels won the series against the Yankees while doing nothing because the Yankees couldn't hit. They lost the last game, and besides that, they are not a very good team, but they're somehow only 2 games under. Feels like they're 10 under, but they're only 2 under. Astros, though, did lose the last game as Kurtz had the walk-off home run yesterday, but they're 11 games over, first place in the AL West. The better team. Walter's been good. I'll go with Houston. I think the price is too cheap.
You know what? I like the Angels, man. Back home after two series road trip. They're 3-4 on that trip. So just staying, right where they are. Not good, not bad. They don't hit the ball extremely well, but I kind of like Soriano, man. He's 1 earned or less in 3 of his last 4. He does have a high hit rate, but he's not allowing any home runs. Not allowed a home run in his last 10 starts. He got good swing and miss stuff, 18 Ks in his last 2. I mean, Houston's been really good, man. They took 2 of 3 versus the Angels in mid-April. They're hitting the ball extremely well. Walter's been solid in a small sample size. I just think that the Angels' offense can get to him here. So I'm going to take a shot with the Angels at home.
Once again, the Angels are a team that can get up occasionally, but I think Houston's obviously better, so the price feels too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Moving on to the next game, Guardians against the A's. For this one, you have Ortiz against Spence. Cleveland's -115. A's are -105. The over-under in this game is set at 9.5. I am going to go with the Guardians. I understand that Ortiz might not be that great. He's been pretty bad on the road, been bad lately. But conceptually, -115 fade in the A's is too good to pass up on. The Guardians are not a good team, but they are technically over 500. The A's won a couple games via walk-off home run. I have not been impressed. Miller's been really bad too. He gave up a home run to Caratini on the first pitch yesterday to blow a 3-run lead. I don't think this team's any good. So based on the team differential, I'll go with Cleveland. Yes, I understand they have not been good lately, and they are 1 game over, which is not that impressive, but -115 is too cheap against this A's team. I'll go with Cleveland at -115.
I'm going to take the other side. I don't disagree with anything you say. I really want to.
For the record, I'm not betting this game, but -115 against the A's, I just think is too cheap on principle.
Yeah, but Cleveland, 3rd straight road series at 2-4 this far. They hit under 215. I don't really like Ortiz. 10 earned in his last 10.
He's not good.
He's got walk issues. And I think the A's offense, they've been struggling a bit, but I think the one thing that can be consistently counted on, even when they were going through their big losing streak, like the offense was still doing enough. It's just that they can't pitch. They're 5-2 in the last 7. Spence is 1 earned or less in 4 straight. No more than 1 earned in his last 2 home starts. So he's been pretty good. So I want to take the A's at home in a decent spot against a team like Cleveland, who I think is beatable.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's a spot where I might like the over in this game. If you're picking Ortiz to struggle, I can see both teams doing something here. Cleveland really isn't that good, but damn, the A's aren't good at baseball at all. Even the game yesterday, they almost blew it 3 separate times. They got away with it, but it was not impressive. They always do. And Miller was their main, I'd say, piece that you liked in that pitching staff. And he's been bad this season. So I'll go with the Guardians instead. Moving on to the next game. You have the Nationals against the Dodgers. Now, for this matchup, Dodgers are laying a ton, obviously. For this game, Dodgers are -200. It keeps auto-correcting me to Friday, which is pissing me off. So Saturday, sorry. The Dodgers are laying -275. That's better. You're looking at the Nationals laying +225. You have May against Irvin. And for the over-under in this game, I see it being set at 9. Now, Irvin this season has been kind of up and down, a 4.23 ERA. He has been pretty underwhelming lately. He has given up 16 runs in his last 4 starts, so not ideal. As May, kind of the same boat, 4.46 ERA, has not been particularly good. Last outing, he has been up and down too. He has given up 13 runs in his last 4 starts. So, yeah, not great from either guy, but the Dodgers do tend to win his starts. So that is a good sign of run support for May. I like the over in this game. I don't trust either starting pitcher. I think they're pretty similar. May can be pretty up and down. I think that Irvin's up and down. I think both offenses can do some damage here. 275 is massive. I get it. But if you want to go for the Nationals, I don't mind it at +220. But I'll go with the over instead. I think 9's actually kind of low.
Completely agree. I like the team total over for the Dodgers. I think they absolutely blow the doors off of Washington offensively. And if you notice, or if you remember, Washington took 2 of 3 versus the Dodgers in early April. Yeah, all of those games were high scoring, 11, 10, and 10 was the total runs. So they flew over. You talked about it, both pitchers susceptible to high contact rate. Irvin 4 earned in 6 innings pitched versus the Dodgers in that April start. May is nice, contact is up, 7 walks, 4 Ks in his last 2. He did pitch well versus Washington. I think that was the one time that it was one game that they won. He had 1 earned and 6 innings pitched versus Washington. So I'm going to take the Dodgers team total over and the full game over as well. So I think we see a ton of runs by the Dodgers. I think they could score, double-digit runs.
I can get behind that too. That's going to wrap it up, though, for all the games on the card. Time to move on into the lock and dog plays. For that, the reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is on Fantasy, because they're going along for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hopefully you jumped in because you get the maximum bonus because it is Game 7. Hop in Game 1. The longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. When you sign up for your account, use a code MLB SGPN to get a special pick in your first time that offer up to 1K in bonus cash on Fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, because you've heard about Rhythm before. Just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends and Detective Patterns. Rhythm's models have consistently won, have a high ROI. Power Trends are updated daily. It suits a Rhythm. No towers, no noise, just clean the back picks. And a reminder, download the Rhythm app, check out the Power Trends, start betting smarter. And you can also try to for free for a week, but you get the 7-day free trial. Go to sportsgamblers.com Rhythm to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the Gamble Gambling Podcast. Finish going through the games for Saturday. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Lonte, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, so, man, what's going to go lock? We're going to go Pittsburgh minus 110 against Texas. I think Keller is obviously the better pitcher. I do think he'll get the win. He's been going fine. I mean, 11 quality starts, which is first in the MLB. Got to limit the home runs, but I don't think Texas's offense is going to travel after being, they were swept by Kansas City. I know they're going to come in, maybe a little bit like jacked up, but I don't think it'll be good enough. We can see a low-scoring game, 3-2. I think the Pirates come out with a win. So let's go Pirates minus 110. For the dog, I'm going to go with Boston plus 118 on the road. Just Bayo's in a little bit better form. Boston's a little bit better form. They won 3 straight road series. I trust them on the road because of what they've shown. So I'm going to go Boston plus 118 as the
All right. So for my lock on the show, I think I am going to go with that same Pirates game, but I'm going to go with the under instead as my best bet at 8.5 minus 105. It's just an insanely high line for two teams that can't score. Pittsburgh is awful offensively, dead last in the league in runs per game. Rocker has not been good. But you know what? He was good last outing, and Keller's been good this season. No run support at all. These offenses stink. 8.5 is too high. Give me the under as my lock at minus 105. For the dog, I had a couple of options to go with. Thought about Milwaukee. Thought about taking a shot with potentially going with another direction there. But you know what? I think I am going to go with the run one instead. Petty has an ERA of about 22, and I think Gray's been pretty good. Give me the Cardinals minus 1.5 at plus 106. Think that it's a cheap dog, but I still like it. Cardinals are great at home. Gray's been good. Petty's been terrible in his short stint this season. Good spot. Think that it's a good opportunity to fade the Reds here. Give me the Cardinals minus 1.5 at plus 106 as my dog. Now it's time for the home run plays for the show. Lonte, what do you like for your home run option?
Yeah, man, I had 2 guys that I was going with, both for the Dodgers, and we talked about I think they're going to have a big game. I'm going to go with Max Muncy to hit a homer tomorrow. I think he'll be prime candidate. Now, I went Max Muncy, but I'm probably going to bet Muncy and like Freeman both, because I think they both will be really good options in that lineup, especially against Irvin, who's allowed a ton of contact. So let's go with Muncy. To hit a home run tomorrow. Should be a good price.
Yeah, for me, I was going to pick somebody in that Cubs game, but the problem is I know the prices are going to be terrible, so I don't know if I want to bother in that one. You know what? I'm going to run back what I did last episode. I'll go forward for fun anyway, or 2 episodes ago. Give me the no home run in the Giants game. I'll run it back with Bayo and with Raup. They've been good at limiting home runs. Should be like 60 degrees in California, so it could be a bit of a colder game than you might expect for June. Give me the no home runs again. Worked out for me with Webb. I'll run it back with Raup and with Bayo into that one. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Lonte, anything else you want to add?
No, man, I hope everybody have a good, safe weekend. We'll be back on Monday.
A reminder, by the way, that we do have the prop show on Monday morning as well. If you want to check out Adam and I doing the prop show at 10 a.m. We also have the NBA show that we did together, the Game 7 preview of the NBA Finals. We already did it. So if you want to check out the Game 7 preview, check out that episode on the NBA Gambling Podcast. Until next time, find me on Twitter or Radio. Find him on Twitter at XSLonteXX. Also be uploading tennis in a bit, so keep an eye out for the tennis podcast. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.